Welcome back to Tom's Garage. What's happening? What is happening on this beautiful cold? Look at that, man. Not a cloud in the sky. Yeah. How you doing? Today, we are going to be servicing. Well, it's going to include a service, but the customer said it won't crank. I bet you want to see what it is, don't you? I don't know if I want to show you. I'll show you. Bronco 42 from TroyBilt. This one has got the 19 horse intake engine. My favorite engine in the whole world. Love it, love it, love it. This feller said that he said somebody gave him that tractor several years ago, and it's been sitting in his garage. He ain't never used it. And his wife gave him an ultimatum. It's either me, the mower, or you get it fixed. So that's why it's here. Ha ha ha. He knows who the boss is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see why this thing won't crank. We're gonna see why it won't crank. Let me set this camera up. We're gonna get this thing set up, we're gonna test it, and we're gonna go through it and see what's going on and hang loose. Alrighty, let's get this hood off of this thing. This is one of those tractors where you don't have you're not able to unplug the headlights. You have to actually take the headlights out. And I see we got one hanging out down there. There we go. I guess they're trying to save a few bucks, the manufacturer is, by not giving you that plug. They just run the wire right to the bulbs. Come out of there, little dude. All right. Got the headlights out of the way. Boy, I have thrown my back out. Ooh. Ooh. Get this hood out of the way. I'm gonna lay it on back of my trailer. All right, let's set the parking brake. Make sure it's in neutral. And we're gonna see, first thing I gotta do is check the oil in it. Always check the oil. Always check the oil. Let's see what the Earl looks like. It's dark, it needs to be changed, but it's perfectly full. So, all right, she is safe for contact. So let's have contact. I'm gonna move this throttle all the way up to choke, and I'm gonna make sure it works. Cause that could be a reason it ain't working. Ain't wanting to crank. Yep. Choke lever operates, so we know it's choking. Okay. He probably put some fresh fuel in it. Nice and clear. Smells fresh. Oop. I'm gonna pop that air cleaner cover off. I can see he's missing one of his little doohickeys. I'm gonna look in the shed of shame out there and see if we can find him another little clip. I see those things missing all the time. I think I'm gonna buy me a bag of those little clips. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Get rid of the air filter. Air filter looks good. All right. I don't know the state of the battery, but it looks like this might be a new battery. Let's see if she'll turn over, and if she will, let's see if she'll crank. No cranky. So what I'll do, I'm gonna unchoke it. Throttle's all the way up, but it's not choked. Give it a good belly full of that carburetor cleaner. Yep, it just goes right back dead. Okay. Okay, that's what I expected. Something that's been sitting for so long. It's gonna need a good carburetor cleaning. Let's do it. Let's see what kind of shape that carburetor is in. Let me raise this thing off the floor, because I am not bending over to work on it. Let me raise the camera up. All right, there's a carburetor out there. Huh. I wonder why his clamps ain't on there. I'll be right there. Let's see. Well, that's awful loose. It's tight to the bowl, but it's loose right there. I'm gonna put my finger on it and see if I can feel it clicking. No, I don't feel nothing. Sometimes they can get kind of gooey in there. Get kind of gooey. And I won't let that little needle go up and down. Let's see, let's clamp it off. Clamp it off. Get that fuel line off. And I'm gonna take this solenoid off, make sure the solenoid's working. And at the same time, I'm gonna take this bowl off and see what the state of the carburetor is, what kind of shape it's in. We know it's getting fuel because that filter's full, that screen. It's gonna say that kind of like water, but I don't think it was. Okay, grab me a little 1/2 inch. I'm gonna see if that thing's getting, see if it's getting power. I would usually just put my voltmeter on it, but I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see if it's getting, I'm gonna see if it's getting power. No. I'll get this thing to open wide enough. Grab that bolt head right there. All right, keep your eye on the test light. Let's turn the key on. Hey, it's getting power. Okay, we know it's getting power to it. It's getting power to it. We can get through it. Now let's take this silly little noid off of there. Let me grab a pan. I don't know why that thing is spinning around so easy. I've never seen one do that. I've never seen one do that. Oh yeah, that fuel coming out of there, it don't look that healthy. It looks like it's dark. Well, I just lost the washer off of it. Where did it go? There it is. Make sure we don't lose that copper washer that goes on there. Set it right there. Looks like it's pretty free. I'm gonna plug it back in and see if it works. Make sure them little things in there don't get bent. I've seen that happen. One of them will get bent out of the way, and when you plug it in or don't get power, it'll drive you nuts trying to figure out why. All right, let's see if this thing will pull in like it's supposed to. Nope, look at there. Solenoid ain't working. Oh, that bowl's about to fall off. Grab it. Yeah, look at the gooey gel inside that carburetor. Yeah. But that's just another problem. I got to make sure I'm plugging this thing back up right and getting good contact. I may have had it. Let's see. Let's plug it up again. I want it to go all the way in. like it's supposed to. Make sure it's making good contact. Huh. Still nothing. Let me grab a new one off the shelf over there and see if that's what's ailing it. Oh, let's see, I moved everything around and I can't find nothing. I don't have a solenoid just like that, but I'll show you with this style. I'm gonna have to order another one. I don't have one. See how that one plugged in better. It could still be the reason it ain't working is because I ain't plugging it in all the way. Huh. Well, let's see if this one works. Yep, there it goes. See, when you're holding it, you can feel it and even hear it click. So let me put the other one back in. I don't know if this was, I still don't think it was plugged in good enough. It ain't going in all the way like it went all the way in on that one. Nothing's bent. Let me grab my pair of pliers and really cram that thing in there. Make sure it's not me. But it sure ain't wanting to go in all the way. Huh. Strange. I got to make sure it's not just me not plugging that thing in all the way. That's the reason it ain't working. It just ain't wanting to go inside here. Plug that thing out a little bit. Make sure there's not a piece of debris in there. I believe there might be. Yeah, there's little pieces of plastic up in there. Oh. Grab my little light there and shine in there and see if there's anything left up in there. It looks pretty clean up in there. You see that, boy? This thing is a 2019, so if somebody gave him this tractor a few years ago, this thing ought to have low miles on it. It's less than 5 years old. It's only been used a season or two. That's in there a little bit further. Still nothing. Maybe it is a bad solenoid. I just didn't want to believe it. I'm gonna flip this thing around to make sure I didn't have it plugged in backwards, but it shouldn't matter. That's going in there pretty far. Nope. That's gonna have to be a bad solenoid. Because the new one worked. I'm gonna hit pause. I'm gonna scrounge around and see if I can't find one of them. Y'all hang loose. Well, I just can't seem to find one, but here's the old one. Here's one that's aftermarket. This one takes a 1/2 wrench to get off. This one takes a 12 millimeter. But by golly, they sure do look a lot alike. But this part is probably a good 30 to 40 thousandths longer. But when you turn the key on to get it power, I believe it'll pull it down far enough to clear. And when you turn the key off and comes up, it'll just kind of stop midways. We're going to see if this one will work. Yep. First thing I'm going to do though is clean that bowl. Clean that bowl. Look at the goo in that stuff. Ooh, that's nasty. I'm hoping we might get lucky and that's the only trash in the carburetor. Otherwise, it's very clean. It just had some stuff in the very bottom, and I'm hoping it didn't get up in that main jet. Get all up in that main jet bowl. And today's video is brought to you by Strike Hold. That's good stuff. Get some, get some, get some, get some. All right, that's enough silliness. Let's put this thing back together. Let's get it back together. And I have lost that washer I told y'all not to let me lose. Where did I put it? There it is. Like I said, don't lose that. Very clean looking. Didn't have to scrub it or nothing. Make sure it goes up in there correctly. Put the brass washer back on this silly little noid. It ought to be the same thread pattern. It is. Well, y'all can't see what I'm doing. Okay. I'll just screw that up in there like that. Like I said, this thing's a 12 millimeter. Could you imagine how old this wrench is? 12 and a 10 millimeter. It just says drop forged. I like it because it's thin. You gotta have a thin one to get up in here. A little bit tight, move that back around there. Plug it in correctly. Yep, you can hear it and feel it clicking. Click. I'm gonna put the hose back on it. And we're gonna see what that gives us. There's my little cheap little hose clamps I like to use. I was talking to Alan Claw this morning. He said he got him a 3-pack of those things. Here's some big fancy ones I don't use. I got from Napa. Just a hose clamp. These things are kind of hard to use, really. That's just a little overkill for what I need. I like them little cheap ones. They're plastic ones there. I like them. I like them a whole lot gooder. All right, let's clear the table. That bowl ought to have had plenty of time to fill up by now. All right, let's see if she will crank. Give it a choke. Well, it seems we got lucky on that one, boy. I guess that aftermarket solenoid will work. That's a good thing. That saved a lot of time. Now I know I ain't got to clean that carburetor. Run good, didn't surge. I'm gonna crank it back up. Give it a choke. That engine get warm because I'm going to drain the oil out of it. We'll let it run for just about a half a minute, you know. Then we'll go back in there and cut it off and drain the oil. I want that oil to get hot, or at least warm. little smoky. It's probably because it's been sitting for a long time. I'll tell you, I've done this about 4 or 5 years ago. I was working on one just like this, and I had the headlight bulbs, you know, laid over there in front of the tractor, just like I have now. And I was standing on this side, and when that thing cranked, man, it backfired a little bit, and I can see the headlights on. Man, I thought I had a fire. Ooh, talk about scary. Boy, let me turn that. I gotta turn that exhaust fan on. Woo. All right. Turn that exhaust fan on, boy. Now let me grab my bucket, man. We're gonna drain this Earl out of this thing. Am I making y'all dizzy walking around? Well, I don't like that drain plug, and that's gonna make a heck of a mess. So I'm just gonna use the old Mighty Vac 7400. 7400 though. Here I come with the Mighty Vac, boy. Yeah, I'm just gonna suck it right out with this thing. There it goes. Give it about 5 good pumps and just let it. Give it a 5 good pumps and just let her slurp it out of there. Let me grab my little Powerade bottle here, I cut. We're gonna take this air filter off. Let me grab another oil filter. Let me turn that fan off, it's too loud. Too loud. Okay. I wonder if I can break that loose. Let me get this paddle out of the way. Not a chance. I just ain't got no strength in my hands after having carpal tunnel surgeries. Well, when I was in my 20s, I can just grab a hold of that thing. I'd have all the power in the world. Now I'm 50 years old and, oh, that thing is tight. Ew. Ew. Boy, let me grab a different style. I'm gonna end up chewing it up with that one. Yeah, I'm 50 years old now, and old Shane's spirit, boy, I tell you, he's getting old. He's older than I am. I remember his last birthday he got kind of depressed, and I told him, I said, 52 years old ain't old for a house, or a tree. Good gosh, that thing is tight. Man, oh, yeah, we're gonna win. Mercy alive. Woo. I just got a feeling one day I'm gonna cut me right there real bad. Okay, Mr. Mighty Vac's slurping over there. He's at the bottom. All right. I wonder if that'll hang right there. Yeah. 492932 is the Earl filter we need. Whew. I'll tell you, that wore me out just then. And here's our new Earl filter. This is actually the one, yeah, this is actually the one I give Mother for Christmas. Don't forget to take this plastic off. Make sure your rubber on there is good. Put a little Earl around it. Half of you just cringed because I used motor oil. I've never blown up an engine yet. doing it like that. Hang on a second. Knock on wood when you say something like that, boy. All right, I'm gonna set this down. I'm gonna stand it up. I ain't gonna do like I did last time. I just lay it down on my workbench and let it go everywhere without even knowing it. Set it against something so it don't fall over. Honey, honey. Oh, that's about as tight as I want to get it. That's good. That's good. This thing don't have an hour meter on it, so I'm just going to write 1, 2. Now make sure you write 24 instead of 23. Every year I have to get in the habit of writing the correct year down every time January comes around. It takes me till probably May to get used to writing the new year on there every time I date something. Okay, got the oil filter on there. Come back around the hill. Undo Mr. Mighty Vac. Give it one more pump. Maybe 2. And while it's still sucking, I'm gonna pull this out and hold it straight up. Straight up in the air, man. You will make a dribbly mess all the way back over there. And once I do that, hold it straight up, I give it one more good pump. And then I'll put it back in this little place. I got a little hook I put the end of this hose in so it holds it up and don't dribble. Right there. I can hit the hole. There we go. And it'll just hold it right there. All right, all right. Now we'll put the oil back in it. I believe it's intake. I think this one might be the one that, shoot, I forget. I changed so much oil. I don't think this is the one that holds 2 quarts, but I got a jug here with about a little over a quart. We're gonna give it to it and see what it does. Let me back you up a little bit because I'm gonna be dumping it all over you. Well, I like to use my left hand to do this with. Oop, slow down. Some of the V-twins hold 2 quarts, and I'm thinking this one holds 1 quart or about 1 1/4 quarts, but we're going to find out. I'm going to stop right there. That's about 1 quart. I got just a little bit left. Now, how many times have y'all forgot to put this dipstick in and crank this thing over? I am guilty of that myself, and I tell you, it will rain oil all over your shop. All right, let's fire it up. Ain't nothing in the way. Put this oil filter wrench out of the way. Well, let me check the oil first. I don't know why I got gung-ho and gonna fire it up. I ain't even checked it yet. Because if this is the one that holds 2 quarts, man, you're gonna hurt it if it's way down here. And that is right on add. I'm glad I didn't crank it. So we'll put the rest of the Earl back in it. Put the rest of this. That might be a little bit less than 1/4 of a quart right there. We might have to put a little dab more in it. but we will. Give it a few seconds to settle. I like for it to run on down, get off of that, get it out of that dipstick tube, because if you check it right away, man, you're going to be raking it off the sides of that tube and it's going to give you a false reading. So I like to give it a second or two to settle, run on down. All right, and that gives us right on full. So when we crank it, it's probably going to be between the add and full. I'm going to have to put a little more in it. I'll put the dipstick back in it, boy. All right, let's crank it, see what happens. See what happens. Yep. Set the parking brake back. Long enough to fill up that Earl filter. Whew. God, it's cold. I bet y'all can't wait till springtime just so y'all can hear me stop complaining about it being so cold in every video I'm doing. All right, and it is right near the add. So let me go over here, since my jug is empty. I'm gonna go right over here to the barrel. I got that big propane tank sitting right in my way. Let me go grab my drain pan. Stick under that nozzle there, because this thing takes about 4 good pumps to prime before it starts coming out. I like to keep right at 2 quarts in this jug, and then it'll take about 6 or 7 good pumps to fill it to 2 quarts. I'm gonna give it a little more. Give that a second to dribble. Don't waste that precious commodity. Okay, that's good. That's good. I'll go back over here. Pour a little more oil in it. All right, we'll see what that gives us. See, I checked it too soon. You see it all up in here. Give that thing a few seconds to settle on down that tube. I'm gonna let that settle, and I'm gonna reach over here and grab me a swig of water. Oh yeah. That's the best thing I ever done, was put a little refrigerator with water in it out here. Okay, let's see where we're at. We are right at full by my calculations. I'm gonna check it one more time. Yep, we are right on full. Good. So it took almost 1.5 quarts, really. Well, I don't know, about 1 3/8. 1 quart and 19-30 seconds. All right, I'm gonna give my new spark plug. We're gonna give this thing a good full service. Good full service. RC 12YC. You know, sometimes I'll just eyeball these and make sure that thing ain't slammed shut. But to me, it looks like it's, well, I don't know. I'd like to put it at 30 myself. If I can find it on this thing here. See, it's a little, yeah, that's about 25. Give it a little, yeah, okay. 30, that's pretty good. Yeah, I can dig that. Well, heck, I ain't even took the old one out yet. Here, I'm fixing to stick out one in. And always remember, you've got to take this one out before you can put that one in. And try to get that. I got oil all over my hands now, and I don't want to hurt that boot. I'll just give it a little twisty. There we go. Ooh, warm my hands on that muffler. That feels pretty good. Well, that muffler shield is right in my way. And I am not about to take that shield off. Now, why can't I get my socket on there? That thing is at a weird... It's because of this shield right here. You can't really... I'm about to get another extension. Maybe this will help me get it a little better. A little better. What in the world is going on there? It don't want to go on. I might have to take that shield off. I bet I am. No, I don't have to do that. I wasn't able to fully insert this extension into the socket though. Bend that thing down a little bit. There we go. Now you can get it. That's the stuff. Oh, yeah, it looks like she's been running a little rich. Here. Just a little wear and tear on the spark plug. Now we'll see if we can get this one started because of that funny angle, because of this heat shield. Well, I tell you, you can so easily get it cross-threaded right here. I'm going to have to do it by hand. And with oil on my fingers too. Whoop, there it goes. It's gone forever. Glad that muffler wasn't hot. Okay. Well, I tell you, I ain't never had much trouble with a spark plug in my life because of that heat shield. I got a good mind to take my big hammer and give it a good whack right there. And by golly, that's what I'm going to do. I'll do it with my big rubber hammer. Because the next mechanic that works on this thing is going to appreciate that. There we go. Mess with me, by golly. It's still acting kind of funny right there. There we go. Crush the sleeve and you can feel it stop. Good. Goody goody. I'm gonna give this thing a good steam cleaning too. Well, not steam cleaning. I'm gonna soak it in some degreaser and hit it with the hose. All right, Mr. Spark Plug Boot, give him the click. There we go. Good job, brother. Okay, let's see. This air filter is in good shape. I'm just going to blow it out a little bit. It ain't even got no dust coming out of it. Not even any dust coming out. That's good. Okay. I'll put the cover back on it. I'll still need to go out to the shed and find him a clip for this thing. see so many of these things missing because people try to. Okay, so far we have replaced this fuel solenoid, changed the oil filter. I'm gonna change that fuel filter too, and spark plug. And then I'm gonna check the air in all the tires. And then I'm gonna grease his wheels. Does he even have grease fittings? There's not even grease fittings on this tractor. Not on the wheels, not on the spindles. Yeah, this is one of the low quality ones here. What's gonna be left is check his air pressure and all of his tires and check his blades, sharpen them. And I am not sticking my hand under there, man. There's some creepy crawlies. Yeah, his blade looked pretty good. So we'll give them a good sharpening. Yep. I believe that's what we're gonna do. Let me get this thing jacked up and we're gonna take the blades off. Let me lower the camera. Okay. Make sure there's nothing around the table. No chain to it. Let's see, what do we have? I don't like hooking it there. Find a good solid place to hook the hook. Okay, down we go. Let me take that parking brake off. That way the tractor can follow the chain. Yep, there it goes. Okay. So now I'm going to crawl under there and take those blades off. Looks like we got a 15/16. That reminds me, I got a phone call to make. That reminds me. I got something I gotta take care of. Big clog of dirt just fell out from under it. Yeah, them blades look pretty good. Boy, they're not dull really at all. But it's all part of the service. Pardon me while I squeeze by you. All right. Now we'll go over here. To the old RBG 712. All we're really doing is giving this thing a good polish. Yeah, they're in good shape. I think Alan Claw told me his wife just got one of him, an RBG 712 for Christmas. If you got a blade that's real bad, you know, you just stick it in there and let this rest against this to keep the angle. Let the machine do the work. And if you really need to take a lot off of it, you know, I like to go back and forth with it. And when I get to the end, I like to try to force it that way just a little bit to make sure you get the very tip. And let that right there just follow the contour of the blade. sharp enough to cut you right there. One more time. Don't go so slow you turn the blade blue. That ain't good. That ain't good. All right. All right. Now we'll put the blades back on. Get this thing back up in the air. Running out of battery power. I gotta go charge the battery. I didn't mean for this video to be so darn long. This is where you gotta lay on your back. Yeah. Well, it sure is nasty under here. Creepy crawly haven. Make sure you get the blade back on that 6-star pattern. All right. Now we'll go over to this side. Ooh. Ooh. Let me make sure that compressor's on because I haven't heard it kick on today. Yeah, it's on. It just ain't kicked on. Sometimes I forget to turn it on and I don't have that much power in my impact and I'll end up not tightening somebody's blade good enough. Boy, that'll ruin you. Okay. There it goes, it kicked on now. It kicked on. All right, let's check his air filter. I'm gonna hit pause and I'll be right back. Alrighty, front tires are at 15 pounds. No, I'm sorry, 20 pounds. And then the rear tires are 15. Let's see here. I got the hood back on there. Changed the oil, new solenoid. Seems to run good. Spark plug, oil filter, oil change. Let's see here. We aired up the tires. I just want to take a quick look at this deck here. Belt looks pretty good. This thing has got very, very low hours on it. It's amazing, really. It's only, what, 5 years old? Okay. Blade sharpened. Everything looks good. I want to stick my hand in here and look at that. The upper drive belt and the lower drive belt, they all feel pretty good. Look pretty good. All right, last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get her outside and give her a good washing. Let's do that. Y'all hang with. All righty, let's get her out of here and see how she runs and drives. Raise that car. Well, okie dokie, there she is. All nice and purdied up. All nice and pretty. This thing cleaned up real nice. It's got very low hours on it. Things like brand new, really. It really is. Really, really is. Well, boys and girls, thank y'all for watching the video. A little service on a lawn and garden tractor. TroyBilt Bronco 42-inch. And she is ready to go for the feller. I like that. I feel like I saved another marriage. I'm gonna start calling this Tom W. Moore Repair and Marriage Counseling. That's what I'm gonna name it. Y'all be good. I will see y'all on the next one. Love you guys, and thanks for watching another video, and I'll catch you later.